Hi, everyone, and welcome to an energetic look at the month of June for the sign of Leo. This is I Am Illuminated tarot reading for Soul Illumination. So hi, everyone, and welcome. In today's reading, we're going to be looking... Ooh, had a card pop out there, but not fully, so I'm not going to take that. So as I was saying, Leo, we're going to be taking a look at the energy for the month of June. We're going to be looking at an area of focus that your soul would most like to bring up at this time. Then we'll dive into a block or a challenge, advice as to how to overcome that, and then we'll look at a level of abundance that wants to come in for you this month as well. Now, additionally, before I pull the rest of your cards here, Leo, I would like to say for anyone who's interested in booking a personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website to see a list of my services. All right, and thank you for everyone who has continued to watch me over the past couple years, and for everyone who is watching and enjoying this reading today. Thank you so much. All right, let's jump right in here. So, Leo, right off the bat, your energy that you're coming in with here is the Hierophant and the Five of Cups. There may be a little bit of a review this month for some of you around either a commitment, a past commitment possibly that did not work. It might have been, sometimes with the Five of Cups, this can be where there was either a failure of something, so there's a disappointment in something that we emotionally invested ourselves into. This could be a relationship, it could be a career path, it could be even a group of people that you might have grown apart from, or there was something that distanced your relationship. But there's a sense here with the Five of Cups that there's a Two of Cups, meaning intimate connection with others in your life, that maybe you were focused on what didn't work, but there was something else behind you, connections that were still waiting to come in for you. And so there can be a sense of kind of missing that intimate one-on-one connections. And the Hierophant, there's a sense here of, for many of you, wanting to commit to something. That's really coming through strongly with the Hierophant in this position. There's also a sense of, I think, for many of you, getting back in touch with the spiritual side to yourself, kind of getting in touch with that inner high priest, which is what the Hierophant represents in the tarot. And yet there is a sense with this of maybe not knowing where to commit this deeper connection with yourself, meaning maybe something in the past didn't work out, and there can sometimes be a fear around recommitting again to a new place, a new group of friends, a new career path, because a little bit of that emotional disappointment shines through. Now, what your soul is highlighting for you this month in June, Leo, is the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands. This is beautiful energy. This is creation right here, these two cards together. The Queen of Wands is the individual who I like to say, she blooms where she's planted, meaning she shows up to her fullest extent no matter where she is. She really honors that understanding that we can't run from ourselves, meaning a change in location, a change in a work environment, a change in people doesn't prevent us from shining at all times, no matter where we are, at our brightest, and being able to really show up fully as ourself. Now, she holds the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is the wand of inspiration. It's our soul. It's our passion. And this can actually be for some of you where seeing it like this could be where there's a reconnection to what you're passionate about. This could be a new idea coming in. This could be just something that you're ready to share with others. But there is a sense here of wanting to commit to this new, highly creative energy. And yet within, there's a little bit of grieving something from a past version of yourself. Now, your main underlying energy is the Eight of Swords, followed by the Ace of Swords, and then the High Priestess. So it's interesting here, Leo, you have the High Priestess and you have the Hierophant, so the High Priest. So there's a sense of getting in touch with both the masculine and the feminine aspects of our intuitive self, meaning the part with the High Priestess that receives that intuitive... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to take a drink of water real fast. Let me just... Got in my throat there. Sorry, Leo. as I was saying, the High Priestess is all about receptivity, receiving those intuitive messages and sitting with that knowledge, waiting to use and act on that knowledge. But she sits and waits. The High Priest is the one that takes that information and he creates new structures from that. He sees a farther vision for what that intuitive knowing and information can lead to. Now, the Ace of Swords and the High Priestess, there's a sense here of an idea or a clarity finally around this internal knowing. There's a sense here of, okay, I've seen something, I've felt something, I understand something intuitively about myself and my experience. And there's all of a sudden this kind of ding moment of, aha, okay, I see. But then with the Eight of Swords, there's a sense here of not being able to see maybe how to implement this aspect of this new understanding. Or again, there could be a sense of wanting to commit to something, commit to this passion, commit to showing up fully as yourself, and yet you don't see how. Because with the Eight of Swords, this is kind of being locked in a somewhat negative mental programming where we're kind of lost in our thoughts. We keep going down this path of trying to find our way to be able to make something happen or to see a way forward, and yet we're kind of just meandering in the labyrinth that we've created for ourselves. And really how I see this in my practice when this card comes out is this tends to be the thought programming that, I mean, I could say it in a way that it keeps us small, meaning that it keeps us from maybe venturing into a place that could be a little scary, right? You know, it involves change and involves finally leaving that kind of safe haven of all of those little bit the excuses of I can't, or not the right time, or I can't see a way to do this because. And suddenly there's this clarity of, well, wait a second, if I do maybe say yes to this, or I don't use that as an excuse anymore, then what actually has to change in my life? And that can be a very powerful moment, but it can also be a very frightening moment. And I don't know why I'm seeing that here for you. There's a feeling kind of almost like the curtains are ready to open and you're ready to step out on stage, and yet there's like this intense, like I'm just feeling that kind of fear. So maybe for some of you, you might be getting pushed onto the stage, which with Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands very much. This could be like presenting an idea you're extremely passionate about to a workplace. This could be about debuting a book you've written and kind of had hidden under your bed for years, and now you're ready to share it with the world. This could be where, I mean, it could be on any number of things, but there's a sense of a part of yourself perhaps that's been hidden for a while. And it's almost like reconnecting with that part and realizing you're going to have to show it. You're going to have to commit to that. You're going to have to show it to the world. And yeah, that can be scary when that curtain pulls back. But the one thing you have to keep in mind, Leo, is that you were born to be in the spotlight. Leo, your motto in astrology is I lead. So there's a sense here that this may be a month where you are pushed to lead, pushed into possibly a leadership position, or pushed to lead in some aspect of your own life. And when we lead, leaders are always on display, right? They're always out there for others to see and to judge. And that can be hard sometimes. But it can also be extremely rewarding. And when we have Leo as one of our main placements in our birth chart, whether this is sun, moon, or rising, or even in our Venus or Mercury placements, this can definitely speak to a life path that is going to challenge you to lead in certain capacities at certain times. And we have here coming out now the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. This is an interesting energy. So the Seven of Swords is your main point of challenge. And this is where we are trying not to see something. We're trying to almost either A, get away with something, or B, we're just in a state of an avoidance behavior. And the Nine of Pentacles is a card of independence. It's a card of sitting in a place where you really have the ability to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Sometimes it can be seen as the card of the single person who's well off on their own, meaning they don't need anyone else in their life to fulfill, especially in the physical realm, because pentacles speak to our physical experience. And there's that sense here of, here's the rest of the story. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Five of Cups again, and then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, what you're being pushed into, Leo. I'm so sorry that my voice is going here a little bit. What you're being pushed into is a timing cycle of legacy building. Now, what does that mean? With the Wheel of Fortune coming in at the heart of your reading, this is saying the wheel is turning, the energy is moving, and there's a chance to go from the Nine of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles can often become a comfort zone where we have gotten to a certain place of comfort, of routine, of our ability to enjoy what we have. But this can be where we were looking to achieve a goal, and then we've met it. And then suddenly, when we get to the top of the mountain, we see a much higher top of the next mountain. And that's what the Ten of Pentacles is here. This is the ultimate legacy we want to achieve in the physical. This is the ultimate home. This is the ultimate career path. This is what you would want to leave to hand down as an inheritance to your children or to other people's children, meaning this could be where part of that legacy is that novel that will be read for the next few hundred years. That could be a piece of artwork that others see and are emotionally moved by for years to come. But there's something here with the Five of Cups right in the middle between the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Pentacles. There's that sense of looking, though, at perhaps maybe feeling like you either don't have the support, which the Three of Cups in the Five of Cups can represent, that perhaps a support group you had, a friend group, even coworkers from a past work environment, that you don't have those at this point. And there's that sense of, well, how can I leave my comfort zone now to go out to find that next pentacle that allows me to legacy build when I either A, don't have the support, or B, it didn't work out in the past, or something did not work out. This could be where, it's time now to maybe move in with someone. Maybe you've been in a relationship for quite some time and now it's time to actually commit to them. And yet there's a sense here of not wanting to give up perhaps that level of independence because of what happened in the past, of something that didn't work out in that realm. This could be the same way about maybe committing to wanting to share your passions with others and maybe commit to a new friend group cycle. Leo, for those of you who are Leo rising, and Leo suns will feel this as well, you have a lot of planetary shifts that will be bringing a lot of attention to your seventh house, which is going to be, friend groups. I mean, not so much as the 11th house is more friend groups, I'd say, but 7th can be very much where it's our relationships to other people. So I would say that this kind of is an alignment with that. For some of you, there may be that sense of wanting to connect with others, maybe build network, build new friendships, have that, maybe intimate partnership with someone else. And together, that's kind of the missing piece, is the Two of Cups, that one-on-one connection with others that is going to lead to your ability to kind of leave this comfort zone to go into and towards something much grander for yourself. Now we have the Princess of Pentacles as a secondary underlying energy, which is the Page of Pentacles in this deck. And that's really speaking to going out there. So I always look at the missing link between the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles as the Page of Pentacles. This is when the individual from the Nine of Pentacles has to kind of humble herself a little bit to go out as the Page, which can be seen almost as childlike or sometimes even naive energy, to offer a bit of what she has out there in order. So this could be very similar to, or very much like let's say you're the individual who has been dating someone for quite some time, and you know it's time to buy that ring and get engaged. And so there's a sense of the person sitting in the Nine of Pentacles energy saying, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of the money that I have, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to buy the ring, and I'm going to get down on one knee and I'm going to propose. And that's a token of the legacy you hope by sacrificing a little bit of that Nine of Pentacles you have. It's in the hope that you'll have the Ten of Pentacles down the line, meaning that by bringing this person into your life and committing to them and kind of getting over the pain of the past, or maybe there was a past commitment that didn't work out, that you are able then to bring somebody into your life who's going to add to it, and together you actually will go far beyond the Nine of Pentacles. Now, that's just an example, but you can look at it as if this is for you looking at a new career path or leaving a work environment you've been long in. This could be simply saying, I know it's time for me to start seeing how my skills could be applied to a new work environment, or where I might be able to maybe get more money or to apply myself in a different way. And this would be like saying, okay, I'm going to take the Page of Pentacles could be going out there and maybe spending a little bit of money on a headhunter or working with a recruiter. It could be just simply taking the time out of your schedule to revamp your resume, go onto some job search engines and maybe submit. And the hope is that will lead to more. It might get you out of your comfort zone, and that could be a little scary, but that it will ultimately lead to more. Now, with the Seven of Swords, there's that Wheel of Fortune. And it's almost like you can see, it looks like the individual is trying to avoid seeing. It's kind of looks like he's holding up his cape to say, I'm not going to see that the wheel is turning. I'm not going to see that the time is now. So keep that in mind. And there's the Two of Cups. Yeah, connection. It's time to come out and connect, Leo. One-on-one, intimately, openly. Queen of Wands, Ace of Wands, passionately. And you can't turn your back on that anymore. Whether this is intimate connection with an individual, or it could be very much like committing to a romantic partnership, whether this could be committing to meeting new people, just in general. This could be committing to meeting people who are going to help you find a job, committing to a new friend group. So with the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Four of Cups and the King of Wands. Now, the Four of Cups is, the King of Wands, this is you, Leo. Here you are. This is telling me very much with the Four of Cups that you are, it's like the Four of Cups is just like, I feel about my life. Me and my best friend, we like to say meh. This is the meh part of your life experience. You're kind of like, looking at everything. It's not bad, but it's not great. And that's where, when we kind of have everything in our life, we get to that point and realize, I look at the Four of Cups as when we realize we have no one to share something with, that we are looking at kind of everybody around us and we realize either A, we're not connecting authentically to those people. Maybe it can be where we're looking at almost like being the outsider looking in, looking at everybody else enjoying their life, and we feel like we're kind of on the outside of that. Or it can be where we're just kind of looking at the people around us and the experiences of things outside of ourselves, and we're kind of like, that doesn't do it for me anymore. And that doesn't do it for me anymore. There's a sense of looking at, kind of blending your emotions with your passion, your action-oriented passionate self, and saying, when we get to that point where we're kind of emotionally disconnected or just kind of meh about our life, that's usually the time when we're going to be forced to step in and re-engage with our passions again. And that usually comes through re-engaging with others. So let's see about this Wheel of Fortune. I will laugh if the Seven of Swords comes out. Yeah, Four of Coins. Yep. For some of you, let's see here, Four of Coins. We have the Nine of Swords. We have Judgment. Oh, yeah, and Three of Swords. Yep. Okay, so Four of Pentacles is where we are holding back physically. Either monetarily, we don't want to spend that. We don't want to invest our time. Or we don't want to, put resources towards something. So time, energy, money, we don't want to invest. We're kind of just clinging to what we have. That's status quo. Now, with the Nine of Swords, Judgment, and the Three of Swords. Nine of Swords is worry. This is a card of anxiety. Judgment is an integral change. And I think for many of you, you know that there's been an integral change to who you are. High Priestess and the Ace of Swords speaks to that. Speaks to an internal knowing that has led to a new truth for yourself. And that new truth is being highlighted by the change in your life that you have, that you're being pushed to make. And that can be scary. And with the Three of Swords, this is probably bringing up a lot of past wounding. Three of Swords is the heartbreak from the past that haunt us in the mental space. Those thoughts that tell us we're not good enough, that we can't do it, that now is not the right time, that we're going to be a failure. And yet the wheel is saying it's time. So let's see here. It's time. It's time to invest. It's time to break the bubble of the comfort zone. And it's time to start looking forward. So the High Priestess with the Hierophant with the Ten of Pentacles is definitely someone who has a long-term vision. It's a very powerful combination, actually, because it's not just I want the larger house, or I want a career where I make X amount of money, or I have this kind of retirement. It's the Hierophant comes from our inner spiritual knowing. This is a legacy that plays very much to a spiritual calling you have within yourself, a part of yourself that yearns to be seen, expressed, and realized in the physical realm. Now, for the Five of Cups, we have the Seven of Cups. Yeah, there could be a little bit I think for some of you, sometimes this card can have a double meaning. Seven of Cups can either be where there's a lot of opportunity out there for emotional connection, or it can be where we are kind of lost in the fog of, well, this might, it's almost like the grass is greener. Like there's so many options out there. What if I choose the wrong one? Or I'm not going to commit to this person because someone else might come along that's better. Or I don't want to really get to know that person intimately because, there's a lot of other fish in the sea. There's a mentality like that. And I think for some of you, and then there's a Death card coming in here. Now, intuitively, what I feel more than kind of the grass is greener or somebody better could come along, there's a sense here I get of it's time to release looking back at the past with the Five of Cups. It's time to release what didn't work out, friends that you lost, community that maybe you thought you relied on for a long time, or just something that you emotionally invested quite a bit of time and energy into that didn't work out. And it's time to release that with the Death card. It's time to say there's so much else out there to life. There's so many other people to connect with. There's so many other experiences to be had. And those two cups, that intimate, here's that Two of Cups right over here. That's what's been standing behind you this whole time. And I think it's time for many of you. Oh, I love it. So we had the Star come out. So remember when I said that with the Hierophant and the Ten of Pentacles, this is legacy building, but from a spiritual perspective. This isn't just about money. This isn't just about the house or the dollar amount you want in your bank account. This is about the star. And the star is what our soul is guided towards. The star is our guiding principle in our life. It is that part of ourself that when we get lost, we have to look for that within and without, meaning we kind of almost need to have that reset of, wait a second, am I still on the right path? Am I still listening to my inner intuition? Am I still keeping myself curious and open by looking up into the night sky and waiting to see something that's coming in for me, waiting to see where my star is guiding me again? And with the Nine of Cups, that's making a heart's wish. That's being grateful for all that you have, and it states that you have quite a bit to be grateful for right now. But there's that final cup. And I feel that for many of you, that final cup comes from another who you are able to intimately hold your cup out to. There's a sense of having to kind of, like I'm seeing someone on the stage, the curtain's open, they're holding their cup, the cup of their needs, their dreams, their wants, the star that's within, and they hold it out to the audience. And the audiences are awed by that because it is so vulnerable, because it is so open, because it also shows your passion. In turn, the audience holds their cups out to you. There is something beautifully emotional about this reading, Leo. Now, with the Six of Cups as your third underlying energy, this is a return to innocence. This is a return to a past version of yourself before the heartbreak, the pain, the loss, the disappointment, and you get to reconnect with that. And that's the part of yourself that's being ready to be shared. Okay, well, before I burst into tears here, Leo, I'm going to go ahead and pull two final cards. So I'm going to pull an Energy Oracle card, and then we'll pull a Power of Surrender card. So let's see, what is a final message that Leo needs to know for the month of June? What does Leo need to know for the month of June? Yep, and here's the Garden and the Gate. Now, the Garden and the Gate is always represents to me the Nine of Pentacles. So this is where the girl holds the key around her neck. So she's kind of in her walled garden, and the walled garden is beautiful. It's safe, it's secure, but yet she yearns to know what's out there, what's beyond the gate. And she holds the key around her neck to be able to unlock that gate and to go out. But there's that fear of, but what if something happens? What if I lose that key? What if I get lost and it's not as wonderful out there as it is in here? And yet your soul is calling for you to go out there because there's more for you. There's a lot more. And that key in the physical is just a representation of what your soul will always have access to. So you will never be locked out of this abundance if you choose with faith to continue on down your path. All right, so I'm going to pull one final card here, Leo. What is the final message for Leo this month? Oh, I love it. Perfect. Surrender worry. It says, make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. And I will leave it there. I hope you all have a wonderful month of June. If you'd like, again, to book a personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website. Otherwise, I will see you all for next month's reading in July. Bye, Leo.